Hello to all the public adjusters out there. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a very slick marketing system. Even if you know nothing about marketing, you're going to get a lot out of this class. And even if you consider yourself a marketing expert, you're going to learn about the latest marketing techniques that help public adjusters grow their business. I call it shortcut to scale. It's the modern method to attract great clients for public adjusters. And I work a lot with public insurance adjusters. So I'm going to be backing this webinar with some screenshots, some actual data that I've gotten from clients as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, okay? First of all, obviously this class is for public adjusters, good ones that truly care about their clients, okay? Unfortunately, I've met some that don't, so that's what this class is for. Please be sure to join our Facebook group. You'll get the latest marketing tips to scale your business. We're very active. I have a couple hundred public adjuster members on there now. And you'll get support for all types of questions, not just for marketing. So let me move this here. It's facebook.com/group/adjusters. Just go ahead and apply and I will let you in. All right, so first thing I need to tell you about from a technical perspective is don't refresh your browser and use programs or don't use programs that utilize heavy computer resources. Dropbox is one. And the reason why is sometimes this video may skip or it may just start from the beginning if something else is interfering with its play. So by the end of this class, what are you going to learn? You're going to know, number one, how to beat all the other PAs advertising. PAs, obviously public adjusters. If you don't know what PA stands for, you probably shouldn't be in this class. Because you are a public adjuster if you're listening to this point, at this point. You're also going to know, number two, how to have a full pipeline of leads coming in on Autopilot, right? So many public adjusters really don't know that. They just work off referrals or they go and they door knock. That's fine. But to build a really successful public adjusting business, you have to have a full pipeline of leads coming in predictably without a lot of work. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then also number three, how to put together several modern marketing tactics into a very slick marketing funnel. And when I say funnel, I mean you have a series of marketing tactics that are all coming together and working as one, okay? So who am I? I'm just not some schmo off the street that decided to do this video. I am Mike Volkin. I have built and sold 4 companies. I've written 5 books. I have over 80 media appearances, and I'm a lead generation and marketing communication specialist. That's my career. That's what I do. And I specialize in working with public adjusters. I own Public Adjuster Marketing, which is, of course, in this domain in the upper right, publicadjustermarketing.com. And if you don't see that, our logo in the lower right here. So I own publicadjustermarketing.com. All of my team members, they're all fully trained and have experience working with public adjusters as well. And we offer a variety of marketing services for public adjusters, and this is just one of them. This is the marketing funnel, okay? So how did I get into this industry? Well, this was my house on October 8th, 2017, and this was my house on October 9th, 2017, okay? It got hit by the wildfire, the Tubbs wildfire in Northern California. I live in Santa Rosa. This house has since been rebuilt. It took a couple of years, and I'm now in it. I know you can only see a small part of my office wall here. But it's now bigger and better than before. But along that path of getting my house and everything I own destroyed, I became deeply involved in the public adjuster industry just from going through the process of finding a public adjuster, working with them, navigating through my insurance, tried it myself at first like so many other people did, and then understood the value of what a public adjuster could provide. And the reason why I really got into it is I'm like, hey, my passion is to bring public adjusting to the whole country. Many people don't even know what a public adjuster is, all right? So they started hiring, attorneys and whatnot. So that's what I do. That's how I got into it, and that's my passion, all right? My wife and I had less than 2 minutes to leave our house, actually less than 1 minute. All we grabbed was our 2 cats and my dog. My dog there, Jojo, right there, who has since passed away, sadly, just a few days before we moved into the rebuilt house. But she's the one who saved our lives. She woke us up. Oddly, grossly enough, she actually jumped on my chest while I was sleeping at 2 in the morning, put her butt in my face. That got me up and started jumping at the door. And I woke up, opened up the window, flames everywhere, grabbed my wife, got the hell out of there. Didn't grab anything, didn't even have socks on, lost everything. And it sucked. It was a very trying 2 years to rebuild the house. I can't imagine going through the same thing again without a public adjuster. So if you're a public adjuster that's done work like this for clients, I'll be the silent people who don't say this. Thank you for all the work that you do. Yes, you get money out of it, but it is a very stressful job, and we appreciate it, and a very tedious job as well. The information I'm going to give you here is for informational purposes only, okay? I have to say that by law. I'm going to give you specific examples of how I made money for clients. I'm not going to say that that is exactly what I can do for you. And the examples I give are not even the best examples. I just wanted to be realistic with the information that I provide, okay? So number one, I'm going to show you the exact client acquisition process that I've used for so many public adjusters now. I'm going to show you how to automate your lead generation, and I'm going to show you how to never have to worry about leads coming in again, all right? So I know from working with public adjusters, you got a big storm that rolls in, you're super busy, you're overwhelmed, you almost can't handle the amount of leads coming in. Great. Sometimes that's not the case, but hey, if it is, great. And then there's other times where it's like 3-4 months and you're just like begging for a lead to come in. What happened to all those leads? It's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold, it's frustrating. It's a very frustrating way to run, to make a living, to run a business. So I'm going to show you how you can really steady that storm, make it nice and straight, and always have leads coming in, okay? So the first thing I want you to do, I want you to grab some paper and a pen and write down how much revenue, what is your goal to earn in the next 12 months? You know, just doing that, get your brain thinking about what has to happen. Many public adjusters never even go that far. So if you write down your revenue goal for the next 12 months, you're already way ahead of many other 9 out of 10 public adjusters that I've talked to, okay? Now, let's just say, for example, that you wrote down the number 500,000. Don't change your goal. I'm just using this as an example. 500,000. I'm going to boil the math down for you here. Divide that by 12. It's a little less than 42,000 a month, okay? That is very, very achievable. Let's just define a quick term that you're going to need to understand before we move on to some more math here. CLTV, it stands for Customer Lifetime Value. In other words, what are you going to be making per customer? Okay, so what kind of income are you going to be bringing in per customer? Let's assume that's 20,000. Now, in my case, my public adjuster made well over 6 figures. I'm in California, right? House prices are crazy. But if we were to average that out throughout the United States, I would say it's very conservative. And all the numbers I use in this presentation are going to be conservative. Let's just say that we're going to use 20,000 is what your customer is worth to you. So we're going to use 20,000 as a CLTV, okay? Now, you have a revenue goal of 500,000. Your CLTV, what your customer is worth, is 20,000. If you divide those two numbers, that shows you the amount of clients you need to get within a 1-year period. 25 clients. Does that sound attainable to you? If you're a new public adjuster, you might think, wow, that's very unattainable. If you're an experienced public adjuster that has a very solid marketing plan in place, that executes it, maybe even has a marketing person on staff, it might not be that big of a stretch, okay? But let's just say the goal is 25 clients a year, averaging $20,000 each. Now we have our high-level goal. So we need 25 clients. That means we need 100 calls. Again, I'm being conservative, but let's say we have a close rate of 25%. Most public adjusters I know can close 35, even 45, 50. I've had somebody that can close 60 to 70, all right? You should be able to close 25% of the calls you get. If you don't, something's wrong with your calls, all right? Maybe you talk fast like I do, I don't know. By the way, I apologize for that. I just get really excited talking about this, and sometimes I get comments that I talk fast, but be that as it may, this is a video, so you can always rewind it. Okay, so let's just say the close rate is 25%. That means you need 100 calls a year to get 25 clients, right? Easy math. Just take 100 divided by 4. That means your closing rate is 25%. So that means you need 3,335 ad clicks. We're talking about Google ads, Facebook ads, all those other places online that you can drive targeted clicks because you're paying per click in that circumstance. And how I came up with 3,033 is this math right here. So I took the 100 calls we're going to need and I divided that by 3%. Okay, 3% is your typical ad. Somebody sees an ad and then goes all the way through your website and calls, or submits for more information, or goes to the contact form and emails you, whatever the case. That's usually about 3%. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 6, depending on the quality of your website. So you take those 3,333 ad clicks and you multiply it times the cost per click, because every time somebody clicks your ad is going to cost you money. That's how Google makes money. That's how Facebook makes money. Okay? I'm being conservative here because usually the cost per click is $2, $3, $4. But sometimes when there's a storm event and there's a lot of public adjusters competing for the same ad space, the price goes up, right? Demand and supply. You learn about that in economics, right? So I'm just going to use $5 as a nice round number. That means you're going to need $16,667 a year in ad cost. I think that's very reasonable, especially if you're bringing up $20,000 per client in income, okay? And this is a yearly number, all right? So let's just recap. 25 clients with a $20,000 check for every one that you work with, okay? That's going to give you $500,000 in revenue. That means you only have to bring in 2 clients a month. So 25 clients divided by 12, 2.08. I don't know if anybody's ever had 0.08 of a client. I hope I never see that, but let's just round down. It's 2 clients a month, okay? Now, how do we bring in that traffic? How do we bring in that amount of clients? Let's talk about automated lead generation, all right? So your ideal client is what you want to go after here. Anything less than that is a waste of time and money. Any marketer can bring you traffic. It doesn't necessarily mean they want a public adjuster, but they're going to put eyeballs in your website, which will actually do you more harm than good. If you have a lot of people visiting your website and what's called bouncing away from it, not clicking anything and not viewing it for longer than 5 or 6 seconds, that's going to bring the value of your website down. You don't want to bring that kind of traffic. And honestly, marketers that don't specialize in the public adjuster industry are going to bring you that kind of traffic, no matter how good they say they are, no matter how convincing they say they are. I'm sorry. I've worked with so many public adjusters that come to me, and I'm going to show you a testimonial here in a minute, that have a marketer working for them that didn't really understand the industry, and they drove like 500 clicks for people looking for auto claims. It's like, come on, man. You got to know the industry, okay? Step number 1, you really have to define the location you're going out for. Yes, you might be a public adjuster working in Colorado, but can you realistically service a client just as good on the east side as you can in the west side where you live? Yes, you can accept a client anywhere in Florida, but are the ones in northern Florida really as valuable as the ones in southern Florida that have, in certain areas, much higher real estate value? Okay. Step number 2, I need to rename this slide because this is step number 1 on all of them. Let's just make them all step number 1, okay? So step number 2, other demographics, age, income. What other stuff can you look for? In fact, this is bothering me. I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to go ahead and change these steps. Oh, that's much better. In reality, that was like less than a second for you, but it was like 3 minutes for me. But so we're talking about step number 2. What other demographics can you define? Do you work better with senior citizens? Do you work better with people that are between the age of 25 and 35? Do you work better, or are you going after people who have an average household income of 100,000 or more, right? So, or do you work better with people, or do you only want to work with people who have children? There's all these factors that we have to consider on who your ideal client is. And you might not know. My team, if we build this funnel for you, is going to ask you questions like that, and we're going to help you define who your ideal client is. Okay? And then other defining traits. I have this one public adjuster who says, Mike, I'm on a golf course. I can close every single client I talk to, a prospect that I talk to, 100% of the time. I've been golfing for 20 years. We can relate to each other on golf, and I can close them no problem. On the phone, I can close 50% of them. On the golf course, 100%. Okay, great. I can actually target golf enthusiasts for you. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to show you here in a minute how to do that. Okay. So let me just define something for you. Or not really define. Let me give you a marketing rule, I guess is a better way to put it. So the segment that you can best connect with and help them with their problems are the ones who will retain your services with the least resistance. So in other words, the better job that you do targeting your ideal client, the easiest it's going to have to for them to be to get them through that customer journey to the point where they sign those agreements and you can retain them as a client. They're not going to negotiate on rate and percentages and this and that, nickel and dime you. So the better we find your ideal client, the least resistance, the least friction you're going to have. And the amount of money someone will pay you is directly related to their confidence in you getting the results they need. And the reason why that's important is because you need to be able to show them value, that you are the solution to their problem better than any other public adjuster. Because believe me, people that research public adjusters like I did, I didn't just pick one. I reached out to I think 7 of them or 8 of them. I talked to 3 of them on the phone. 2 of them didn't even get back to me. And then, I thoroughly talked to all 3 of them and I picked one. Okay. So you have to create that value. It's more than just putting an ad up online and hoping they go to your website, then hoping they call you. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's dig in. First of all, here's the flow. We're talking about online traffic in this funnel only. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of ways you can drive clients offline. Go to my website, Public Adjuster Marketing, for some more services on that. We can do all sorts of cool stuff. But this is just for online traffic to your website. And then when they're on that website, talking about giving them that value, which we just talked about in that previous slide, it's called a lead magnet. So we're going to, or you can, write an ebook. Makes you a professional. Actually, my team does it for you, but you can do it on your own. Create yourself an ebook. The top ways to do this, the 6 ways to save on home insurance, why you need a public adjuster, or stuff like that. They give you their email address in exchange for that ebook. It's called a lead magnet. Okay, it gets them to that next point in that marketing funnel, that customer journey. And then what you have to do, and this is where 99% of all public adjusters fail, is you have to give that continued value. Don't just give them a phone number or give them an ebook and that's it. You have to continue to give them value every single day for a few days until they're ready to call, because most people that visit your website aren't ready to call at that time. Okay? So you might think, well, how do we deliver this traffic right here? Well, one way is through Facebook ads. And I'm going to show you some other ways. But Facebook ads, there's billions of people on Facebook. And you can get extremely specific with who you're targeting. I just mentioned that golf example. That's just one example, right? So I can target golf enthusiasts. I can target tennis, golf, ice skating, whatever. It doesn't have to be a sport, just throwing out some examples. So honestly, though, as much as Facebook ads work, they only drive about 18% of the total online leads for our PAs, our public adjusters. So yeah, they do drive leads, but they're not the main driver. Google ads is the main driver because it has what's called search intent. With Facebook ads, you're targeting profiles and demographics and people. With a nice creative, it could be an image or a video ad. And with Google, it shows search intent. So in order for somebody to be able to find your ad, they have to type it in the search bar at the top. With Facebook, you're not doing that. And I'm going to show you how to use them in conjunction with each other. So it's kind of like a 1 + 1 = 5 situation. Okay. So Facebook actually partners with third-party data providers too. Yeah, Facebook knows everything about you, probably more about you than you do. You ever log into Facebook and they're like, oh, hey, 7 years ago you did this. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. That was 7 years ago. Seems like 20, but yeah. I mean, I would have totally forgot about it. Thank you, Facebook. Oh, today's your birthday. Oh my God, thanks. Forgot. Facebook ads are extremely powerful, but only if you know exactly who you're targeting. Remember, they have no search intent, so you really have to get specific on who you want to go after. Okay. Now is the time to get in front of your ideal client. More than any other time in history, we have all of these data aggregators on the internet that are kind of meshing together, and Facebook is a great example. You have billions of users. Not only do they use all the data within your account, they get data from other sources and pull them in their advertising portal, so they really understand who you want to target. You just have to know how to set it up right. Okay. Now you might be thinking, number one, I don't believe in Facebook. That's a lot of, when I tell public adjusters, hey, you can drive some leads with Facebook, they're like, Facebook, I don't believe in that. Or they say, you know what, I've tried that before, it doesn't work. Okay, well, it's like, I compare it like a plumbing job, right? I can try to do a homemade plumbing job and patch something up or fix a toilet or whatever. It may work for a little bit, but honestly, calling a plumber to come do it will be much more value in the future, because I won't be back in 2 weeks in my toilet trying to figure out what I did to break it the last time. Okay, so yeah, Facebook is actually deceptive, and so is Google ads. They make it appear as that the amateur can do it themselves, but they really can't. Getting a professional to do it is like 1,000 times better for just a little bit of cost and a lot less stressful. Google actually makes the majority of their money through people not doing Google Ads right. I'll go into the details on this later, but there's a lot of ways to run Google Ads that are a complete waste of money. And Google actually banks on that. They hope that they don't hope that you waste money, but they hope that they attract you with a very simple looking interface. And same with Facebook. Okay, so if you say I don't believe in Facebook ads, I'm telling you it's where your clients are, whether you like it or not. They're on there almost every day. And if you're saying they don't work, well, number one, you're not doing it right, or number two, you gave up too early. Okay, maybe you did do it right. Maybe you're in the minority where you actually researched how to do Facebook ads properly, but then you might have ran it for a month and said, that didn't do not much at all. Well, you know what? Facebook algorithms, and so does Google, they throttle your accounts. They test your account when they first turn it on. They want to make sure that there's no spam scores and there's good engagement and all that good stuff. So the more seasoned your account is, the better your ads will perform. Okay, so don't give up too early. So here is a typical flow. Here's the meat of what I want to show you, and this is going to develop in the next 10 minutes to be something a lot more cooler than it is right now. It's just like a straight line. So the first thing you want to do, we've already talked about this, identify your ideal clients and their pain points. What do they need from you? Okay, and then run some Facebook ads. Run them properly, the right engaging criteria. You're targeting right, okay? The right engaging creative, all right? Website. It has to be great, but the lead magnet has to be really compelling, those ebooks that I talked about, some kind of what's called gated content where they exchange the email and exchange for something. Ebooks are perfect. It's relatively easy to make, turns you into an expert, and they're easy to exchange an email for a file, a PDF file, okay? And then the user submits their information. You're going to get an email address, you're going to get a phone number, or both, email and a phone, great. And then you get the client information. That's the way this straight line funnel works, okay? But now let me add something to that. So we talked about Google ads. Facebook ads doesn't have search intent. It has, you're basing who you're trying to attract on what their interests are and who Facebook has identified might be a client, okay? Google ads has search intent. Somebody specifically looking for public adjuster, somebody specifically looking for a homeowner's insurance claim, help with the homeowner's insurance claim, okay? Goes to your website, user submits information, you get their information, okay? So now you have Facebook and Google ads. Now here's an actual screenshot of a client. Now I blotted out the client's name, but I want you to forget about all these colored charts, okay? It's difficult to comprehend, but I wanted to break this down for you. The first thing I want you to see, let me move this, is the calls. 52 phone calls right here, okay, is what I've generated. This is my team has generated since July. So it's August, September. This is 2 months of data, okay? This client's spending a good amount of money. It's one of my larger clients. Not the largest, but one of them. And they've generated 52 phone calls. Now look, over 1,000 clicks, 1,250 clicks with 52 calls. The conversion rate is higher than I had anticipated from what I've said. In my conservative math, I assumed a 3% close, right? But this is a 5% with 52 phone calls. Now, keep in mind, the math I'm using here, which I'm about to explain, it doesn't include all the other leads we've generated from like contact forms and ebook downloads and all that stuff. This is just phone calls, okay? So I'm being very, very conservative. So look at this number here, 52 phone calls, right? $10,600 is how much they've spent, and that averages $203 a call. Now you might think that's expensive, but think about it. Assume you have a 25% close rate. That means it takes $815 to close a client. That's really not that bad. Considering you might be making $20,000, right? That's what our customer lifetime value is. So that means you're going to have 13 clients out of this scenario. Okay, so you got 52 calls at a 25% close rate. That equals 13 clients. If you do the division, 52 divided by 25%. So with your $20,000 average revenue divided by, your revenue per client, which is basically your CLTV, minus your $815, that equals a $19,000 profit per client. Not a bad return on your investment, right? 19 grand. Multiply that times the number of clients, which we determined was 13. You've got yourself a $249,292 profit. And that's after expenses. After you take out the advertising click cost there. Okay, there's your $250,000 in 2 months. Okay, this is a larger firm that we're working with though. This isn't an individual, just in full disclosure. And keep in mind, that doesn't include all those conversions from the clicks. Remember, let me go back. 1,000 clicks, 1,250 clicks to be exact. All right, we didn't even count that. We just counted the phone calls. That's a huge matzo ball I just left out there, but I wanted to keep it nice and clean, the math very easy to understand. All right. And one more important addition to this funnel here. We talked about Facebook ads and Google ads. Okay. Here's the funnel. Here's what I want to add. Retargeting. Now, some of you, let me just walk you through the customer journey here. The person has seen your ad on Facebook and or Google. They go to your website. They may leave. Over 90% of people leave, no matter how compelling your ad is. Okay. Retargeting brings them back. What is retargeting? It's a banner set. You might have actually, I almost guarantee you've been subject to a retargeting ad before. Let's say you looked at golf clubs online or shoes, right? And then you left them in your cart. Maybe you didn't buy them. And then you go to CNN and there's those ads for that same shoe. It's like, what the? My computer's stalking me. You go to Fox News, you go to eBay, you go to Forbes, and those shoes are there everywhere for the next 90 days. That's the retargeting campaign. I can do the same thing for you. You can do the same thing for yourself. If they're banner ads, there's millions of websites out there that leave space, little space of code. And when you go to those websites and you click accept cookies, all those yes or no's you have to click, that means you're allowing your computer to get a cookie from that website. Now, a cookie is a little line of code that basically triggers those retargeting ads in your, and when you visit a website that has space for that retargeting ad, it's going to show that banner to that cookie you just downloaded to your computer. That's how it works. Okay, and that'll usually last 60 or 90 days. So what's happening is here, you're getting very targeted traffic from Facebook and Google. Most will leave. Retargeting will bring a lot of them back, and the retargeting ads are cheap, much cheaper than Facebook or Google ads. You're looking at a few dollars a click here. You're looking at a few pennies here for retargeting. Okay. Here's an example. This is an actual retargeting ad of one of my public adjusters. Okay. So I'm on Fox News and I saw this morning. I took a screenshot. Okay. Fox News has retargeting ads, CNN, eBay, all these sites, massive sites, some of the biggest on the internet have retargeting space because these ads, these websites make money every time you click. They make money off it, so it's an easy way. They get a very targeted ad placed in their website from that person who just visited a website less than 3 months ago, right? So they have ads everywhere, and it's a very easy way for a company like Fox News to input very targeted ads for like no work on their end, and they make good revenue off it. So what we do at publicadjustermarketing.com is we build this funnel for you, okay? One more addition, one more important addition. I talked about dripping value, making you the superstar out of the 7 other interviewees or public adjusters that are interviewing for this client's business, okay? So we had all this stuff here, and now we're adding let's flip over. We're adding this, email drip campaigns. This whole time I had a little pen I could have used. So we're adding drip campaigns right here. So what is a drip campaign? Well, a drip campaign is a series of timed emails. So picture this flow. Somebody comes in through a Google ad, they go to your website, they download an ebook, and they give you their email address and their phone number. Now, immediately the system will fire off, your website will fire off, hey, thanks for requesting my ebook. Here it is, and I'm the best public adjuster in the world. We'll wordsmith that. That's basically what you're saying. And then the next day they say, hey, hope you had fun reading my ebook. Here's a little video I made, in regards to the top ways that public adjusters can help with your claim. Day number 3, here's something else that makes me an expert. Number 4, here's something else. Number 5. So you can do a 5-part drip campaign where once a day they're getting a different additional piece of value. Imagine yourself having this in place compared to a client who, number one, or another public adjuster who doesn't have an ebook. Even if they do, it's just that one little, here's our ebook, thanks, type of email. And then they get your emails, 5 of them, that each one show how awesome you are. Like that's what we developed this funnel for you. Okay, that's how powerful this is. This is like a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals 200, right? So this funnel is modern. It's evergreen, and the best part is you can turn it on or off wherever you like. So you just basically put money into this funnel, because remember, these clicks, I mean, every time somebody clicks is going to cost you a little bit of money. Might cost you 60 cents, might cost you $5, depends on the competition and some other factors. So if you charge this funnel with, say, $500 a month or $5,000 a month, you can say, you know what, I got way too many clients right now, I got to turn this off. A couple clicks of a mouse and it's turned off. And then you can turn it on whenever you want. When it's by saying it's evergreen, meaning you can revisit this 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 2 years down the road. It's evergreen, right? I mean, other than changing the ads every now and then, it'll last for as long as you want it to last. So here's some objections that we get is like, hey, I get this sometimes. Public adjusters say, can I just pay you upon completing the ad? Well, no, because, or not the ad, the funnel. No, you can't because it takes about a team of 4 highly trained people to make this funnel, okay? And they need to put food on their plate. So what we do is we say 50% down and 50% when the funnel is completely built, just so you understand all the great quality that goes into it. And can I pay you only in referral fees? No, absolutely not. We can't do that because I've had numerous public adjusters build this funnel. I built the funnel out for them and they don't answer their phone. They're too busy. They're in the field, right? So we can't stake dozens of hours of work off maybe you not returning voicemails, you not being able to answer the phone, tech issues, maybe your website goes down, you didn't pay your hosting bills, maybe there's a malicious software on your website. 1,000 things could go wrong that are outside our realm of control. So we don't do that. Okay. The cost for building out this complete funnel here. $10,000. There's a small fee you can pay at Public Adjuster Marketing that will get you a whole bunch of other stuff, social posts and, well, I won't go into it, but a lot of stuff. There's actually a video on the homepage of our site which you can view that shows you all the stuff. But if you're a paying member of publicadjustermarketing.com, it's $7,500. And then, like I said, you can pay just 50% to get it built, and then the final 50% when we're ready to turn on all the ads and let that lead spigot, that lead flow come right through. Okay. And then just know that it is a 3 to 4 week build out. There's multiple people, at minimum of 4, if not as much as 6 during certain parts of the build out that build out this funnel. So you have to give us time to complete it. This isn't something like, hey, I pay you and it's going to be turned on tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. A lot of work goes into this. So there's what you're going to get. Number 1, we're going to do a thorough interview. We're going to identify your ideal clients. We're going to do a complete Google ad build out. Now, this is from experienced experts in your public adjusting industry. I cannot emphasize that enough, how important that is. We understand the public adjusting industry. This isn't just a regular Google ads person who's going to build you a campaign like they do everybody else. Facebook ads build out, creative and text, unlike with Google, where it's just text-based, Facebook has creative. All right, so we got to build out creative for you, and we're going to do that. It's going to match your website. It's going to be great. Ebook. We're going to write you an ebook. All right, that's your lead magnet that we talked about. We're going to create it, and we're going to integrate it in your website and your drip campaigns and all that stuff, so that somebody signs up, they'll get it. You don't have to do any of that. Okay, there's nothing you have to do besides get that 50% down to get us started, and answering some questions about your ideal clients. Okay, and then we create that retargeting banner creative. Remember that retargeting? Most people that visit your website aren't ready to call yet, so they'll see your banner ads on CNN and Forbes and eBay and wherever other website has retargeting ads. So those will be created by us, and we'll set up the campaigns, not just the retargeting campaigns in Google, but also the ones in Facebook. Yes, they both have them. So imagine that somebody goes to Google, they click your ad, they visit your website, they're not ready to call. They log into Facebook the next day, they see your ad. That's cool. All right, that's pretty slick. And then vice versa. They're in Facebook, they see your ad, and then they see your display ad on your banner ad on Google. Okay, it's working together like that. And then all that is tied together with a 5-part drip campaign. So anybody who leaves information on your website to get that ebook is going to get that drip campaign. It's going to continue to drip that email value to them. Okay. Biggest benefit is my team knows the public adjusting industry like no other team out there. There is no other agency that does what we do. with the level of expertise that we do. Here's a testimonial. I'm going to read this really quick. I'm going to bring out my handy pen now since I don't want to read the whole email. And I blurted out his last name just for the sake of anonymity here. He said, Mike, I must say, what you have done here looks freaking awesome. Not that I completely understand it, LOL, but that's why I needed your help. I really appreciate the time you have taken and work you've put into it. This stuff gives me anxiety, understandable. I researched a lot of marketers and I'm confident I picked the right guy. I especially appreciate the passion for what you do and the professionalism you have provided. I'm pretty excited about this. All right, so that was from Chris. I just got finished building out his funnel, and we just turned it on this week. I already brought him a couple great leads. Here's one from Joe. Excellent explanations. What happens is, I didn't mention this, is after the funnel is complete, I send you a screen share video just like this, personally me, and then I will send you a video on everything that you need to know on how to manage your own funnel in case if you don't want to manage it. We manage it for the first 30 days, but then that's just really to get that flowing, right? And then after that, you can pay us a small fee to continue on after that if you want to go that route. But he's referencing the videos that I sent. Excellent explanations and review of your work product, better than the 5 companies I've used over the years. So this is someone who has used non-specific or just marketers that aren't specific to the public adjusting industry. Okay. Here's one from our website. You guys are such lifesavers. You've taken a huge load off my shoulders. Super job. I'm very pleased with your work. Jenny is such a nice person, great public adjuster, tried to do some marketing herself, didn't get the results she wanted, came to us, and then boom, now she's focused on what she's actually trained to do, and that's public adjusting. Okay, so I want you to be sure to schedule a free consultation with me. Super easy. Just go to publicadjustermarketing.com/calendar. Should be a quick and easy 30-minute meeting. I'm going to talk to you about your needs, talk to you about what you've tried from a marketing perspective, where you want to go, your goals, all that good stuff. Hey, you reached the end. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope all this stuff was not only enlightening, but also motivating to what you can really do now with digital marketing. Good luck.